If map questions make you panic, it's not because you're bad at listening. It's because you're looking at the map the wrong way. In the next few minutes, I'll show you a simple, step-by-step strategy that keeps you in control during the test. Hey, I'm Ethan. Today, we're doing IELTS listening map questions. You'll learn the exact routine I use before the recording starts that my students also swear changes everything. Honestly, I think map questions might look scary to some test takers, but they are easier than they look if you take time to practice them with good strategy. So grab a pen and paper and let's go. Look at this map. It's from Cambridge IELTS 18. The first thing I see is the north, south, east, west on the top right of the map. These directions will be useful as I'm listening to the recording. The second thing I look for on the map, and this is probably the most important thing, is the starting point. Here on this map, there are two entrances, one on the south side and one on the west side. By the way, remember that every word that's written for you on the map is a keyword. I repeat, every word on the map is a keyword. There's the main road, the London road, and a road that goes to Nunston. Then we have apartment blocks, lake, and housing for elderly. There are trees on the west and the east side of a map, which might be used to refer to some spots. And finally, we have 8 locations marked by letters A through I. Now, during the exam, I wouldn't worry much about the questions. I take a quick look at the questions and use my time mainly to focus on the map itself. Why? Because the words in the questions, here 15 to 20, will be mentioned in order in the recording. You'll hear each question and then will be directed to the answer on the map. Now, let's listen to the recording question by question and find the answers.
Okay, so I'll put a map of the proposed development up on the screen. You'll see it's bounded on the south side by the main road, which then goes on to Nunston. Another boundary is formed by London Road on the western side of the development. Inside the development, there will be about 400 houses and 3 apartment blocks, and there will also be a school for children up to 11 years old. If you look at the south entrance at the bottom of the map, there's a road from there that goes right up through the development. The school will be on that road at the corner of the second turning to the left.
You start at the south entrance and go through the road into the development, and the school is on the corner of the second turn. So the school will be located at G.
A large sports centre is planned with facilities for indoor and outdoor activities. This will be on the western side of the development, just below the road that branches off from London Road.
Near the west entrance, just on the road that branches off the London Road, there will be the sports centre. That is letter C.
There'll be a clinic where residents can go if they have any health issues. Can you see the lake towards the top of the map? The clinic will be just below it, to the right of a street of houses.
There are 2 locations, one on top of the lake and one below it. The clinic is where? It's below the lake, so it's letter D.
There'll also be a community centre for people of all ages. On the northeast side of the development, there'll be a row of specially designed homes for residents over 65, and the community centre will be directly adjoining this.
At the top right, adjoining, which means attached to the elderly housing, you have the community centre, which is letter B.
Well, we haven't forgotten about shopping. There'll be a supermarket between the 2 entrances to the development. We're planning to keep the 3 large trees near London Road, and it'll be just to the south of them.
You see those trees on the west side? We have the sports center on top, location C, and we have the supermarket below it, letter H.
It's planned to have a playground for younger children. If you look at the road that goes up from the south entrance, you'll see it curves round to the left at the top, and the playground will be in that bend with lovely views of the lake.
And finally, the playground is letter A. We go along the road from the south entrance up to the lake where the road bends. There you go. This is what we did. We started with the entrances, then identified the roads. We identified all the places on the map and all the notable items like lakes and trees. Then we just listened to the recording and moved on to the map. Now I have another set of map questions for you. Let's listen to this one together and you go ahead and answer the questions while listening. It comes from Cambridge 19 and we will analyze it together after. Just remember, study the map the same way we studied the previous one. Note all the places and items on the map, as well as the directions, paths, and most importantly, possible starting points. My guess is the starting point is the car park. You'll have some time to look at the map and then we'll listen.
Now on Sunday, we'll be taking our visitors to Farley House. Some of you may not know it well, so you've got a map to help. You can see the car park at the bottom of the map. There's an excellent farm shop where our visitors can buy local produce. It's in the old stables, which is the first building you reach. The stables are arranged around a courtyard, and the shop is in the far corner on the left. There's also a small cafe on the right as you go in. I know one or two of our visitors may not be very mobile. The main entrance to the house has quite a few steps, so you may want to use the disabled entrance instead. That's on the far side of the house, away from the car park. Children will probably be most interested in the adventure playground. That's at the northern end of the larger lake in a bend in the path that leads to the lake. There's plenty for children to do there. There are several lovely gardens near the house. The kitchen gardens are rectangular and enclosed by a wall. They're to the northeast of the house, quite close to the smaller lake. They're still in use and they have a great variety of fruit and vegetables. The Temple of the Four Winds is a bit more of a walk, but it's worth it. Take the path from the car park and go past the western side of the stables and the house. Then when the path splits, take the right-hand path. Go up with the woods on your left and the temple is right at the end. There are great views over the whole area.
All right, now let's listen to the questions one by one and see what's going on.
There's an excellent farm shop where our visitors can buy local produce. It's in the old stables, which is the first building you reach. The stables are arranged around a courtyard, and the shop is in the far corner on the left. There's also a small cafe on the right as you go in.
The first sentence points to the old stables near the car park. Then the phrase in the far corner on the left points to G as the answer.
I know one or two of our visitors may not be very mobile. The main entrance to the house has quite a few steps, so you may want to use the disabled entrance instead. That's on the far side of the house, away from the car park.
You can clearly see that the house has two entrances and the main one is on the left. So the disabled entrance is C.
Children will probably be most interested in the adventure playground. That's at the northern end of the larger lake in a bend in the path that leads to the lake. There's plenty for children to do there.
And B is the position of the playground, which is on the bend of the path to the lake.
There are several lovely gardens near the house. The kitchen gardens are rectangular and enclosed by a wall. They're to the northeast of the house, quite close to the smaller lake. They're still in use, and they have a great variety of fruit and vegetables.
On the northeastern side of the house, in a rectangular shape, we have the kitchen garden. So D is the right answer.
The Temple of the Four Winds is a bit more of a walk, but it's worth it. Take the path from the car park and go past the western side of the stables and the house. Then when the path splits, take the right-hand path. Go up with the woods on your left, and the temple is right at the end. There are great views over the whole area.
The answer to question 20 is A, because you go up the path, past the stable and the house, and at the fork, you take the right path, and there you are. All right, folks, we learned that when you see a map in IELTS Listening, you find directions on the map, find the possible start points, entrances, etc. Then scan roads and landmarks, lakes, trees, buildings, anything that's on the map. Treat every label as a keyword, and finally follow the audio in order to land on each location, step by step. That's it. Plain and simple. I suggest you wait a couple days until you partly forget what you learned in this video, then come back and watch it again. After that, you should find some map questions in Cambridge IELTS books and practice. By the way, tell me in the comments how many questions you got right on the second test of this video. Also, let me know what question types in IELTS Listening you want me to make videos about. I wish you good luck in your preparation, and I'll see you in another video.